So remember that we should be sitting with feet about hip width apart, knees bent 90 degrees, and then between the thighs and the torso also another 90-degree bend. The head gently lifted, and of course you can close your eyes, as you probably should, as we do the meditation, but don't let your head droop down. Keep your head gently lifted. Hands folded in the lap like this. And there is, of course, the issue about which hand goes on top. In this case, it would be on top. If we were to put the hands on the abdomen, then the hand that's on top here would be the hand on the bottom here. Okay, so the traditional Chinese instruction is the men have the left hand on top, the women the right, okay? But several of the teachers, in fact the majority of the teachers I worked with say do what's comfortable. But just beware, there's some folks in Qigong society who are very dogmatic about which hand should be on top. The breathing should be returned to childhood breathing, and it should just be a normal pace. We're not coordinating the breathing with any of the movements. And remember, we have 3 paths. The first path is some of the major glands, like thymus and pancreas and adrenals, along with the 5 yin organs. So the heart, the lungs, the liver, the spleen, and the kidneys. The second path is the digestive organs, from the mouth down the esophagus to stomach, then small intestine, large intestine, and rectum. And the third path is the third eye into the valley between the 2 hemispheres of the brain, in this place located approximately midway between your ear openings, where the pituitary and pineal glands are located. And then from there, through the brainstem, the medulla oblongata, and down the spine, all 24 vertebrae of the spine. And at the end of our session, whether you have done one path and then are ending your session, or you have done all 3, you want to gather your qi back in the lower dantian so that it is returned to be stored in its residence. When we do the first path, we'll also be working on the emotions and virtues associated with the 5 yin organs. And we'll be exhaling the negative emotions and inhaling the positive virtues associated with each organ. So we begin by connecting with our source of smiling energy. And that, of course, can be a deity, another person, a relative, even, I suppose, an animal. It could be a place where you have been, or you can imagine having been, that made you feel relaxed and happy, or it can be a time of your life. that you remember as being relaxed and happy. So, and you can, if you have an image of your source of smiling energy, I mean a physical image, such as a poster, you could place that where you can see it during your meditation session. If when we're doing the paths, you feel like your smiling energy is diminishing, then pause for a few moments to reconnect with your source and renew your smiling energy. So now, connecting with your source of smiling energy, bring the smiling energy in through your third eye and into your eyes. Feel your eyes warm and relax. Feel the smiling energy flowing down into your mouth, and cheeks and jaw. Feel the tension you may be holding there melt away. Smiling energy then flows down into your neck and throat, relaxing the muscles and tendons. And the smiling energy will be cascading down or flowing down like the wax dripping down a burning candle. And it will cascade now down into the thymus gland, which is located behind the top of your sternum. Yeah, somebody should mute this. There's somebody that's not muted, so we're getting feedback. And feel the smiling energy permeating every cell of the thymus gland, wrapping around the thymus gland. And as you send the warm, sincere smile down to the thymus, thank it for the work it does in helping keep your immune system strong. Visualize your thymus gland smiling back at you. You reconnect the mind and the body parts so body parts can feel acknowledged and appreciated, and so that your mind can feel what the body parts are feeling. So imagine your thymus gland now smiling back at you. It's feeling relaxed, appreciated. It's feeling healthy. Now the smiling energy will cascade down into your heart. Feel the energy flowing into every part of your heart, wrapping around your heart, penetrating every cell of your heart. As you exhale, imagine breathing out the negative emotions from your heart, breathing out hatred and cruelty. Making room to breathe in the positive emotions of kindness, love, and creativity. Breathing out hatred and cruelty, breathing in love and creativity. Smile down a sincere smile of thank you to your heart for the work it does in circulating your blood. And visualize that smiling energy radiating out into the circulatory system throughout your body. Visualize your heart smiling back at you. It's feeling relaxed. It's feeling appreciated. It's feeling healthy. Now the smiling energy will flow from your heart to each side into your lungs. Feel the smiling energy penetrate every part of your lungs and wrap around your lungs. Smile down a sincere smile of thanks to your lungs for the work that they do. Processing in oxygen to supply your cells. Expelling carbon dioxide waste. As you exhale, imagine breathing out negative emotions, sadness and depression. Breathe out sadness and depression. Make room in your lungs to breathe in the positive virtues, courage and righteousness. Exhale, sadness and depression. Breathe in courage and righteousness. Now imagine your lungs smiling back at you, feeling appreciated, feeling thanked, feeling clean and healthy. Now the smiling energy will flow down from your lungs into your liver, right below your right lung. Feel the smiling energy penetrate every cell of your liver and wrap around your liver. As you breathe out, expel the negative emotions of anger and frustration. And as you breathe in, fill your liver with the positive virtues of kindness and generosity. Expelling anger and frustration. Breathing in kindness and generosity. Smile down a sincere smile of thank you to your liver for the work it does cleaning your blood, storing your blood, removing toxins. And now imagine your liver feeling warm and relaxed, feeling thanked and appreciated. Your liver smiling back at you, feeling healthy. Now we'll send a smiling energy over to the left and into the pancreas. Feel the smiling energy penetrate every cell in your pancreas. And wrap around your pancreas. Smile down a sincere smile of thanks to your pancreas for the work it does in producing insulin, regulating your blood sugar levels. Imagine your pancreas feeling thanked and appreciated, feeling healthy, smiling back at you. And now we'll send the smiling energy over more to the left and into your spleen. Feel the smiling energy flow into every part of your spleen and wrap around your spleen. As you exhale, breathe out the negative emotions of pensiveness, overthinking, worry. Make room to breathe in the positive virtues of openness and fairness. Breathe out worry, pensiveness, overthinking. Breathe in openness and fairness. And now, smile down a sincere smile of thanks to the spleen for the work it does in regulating the work of the other organ networks and in distributing nutrients throughout your body. Imagine your spleen feeling good, feeling appreciated, feeling thanked, feeling healthy, and smiling back at you. Now we're going to send the smiling energy further to the left and then around to your back, the area of the kidneys, but right on top of the kidneys and just below your diaphragm, we have the two adrenal glands. And we're going to send the smiling energy into those adrenal glands, penetrating every cell of the glands, wrapping around the glands. Send a sincere smile of thank you to your adrenal glands for the work they do in helping your body deal with emergency situations. And just tell them that everything right now is just fine and they can relax. Imagine your adrenal glands feeling appreciated, feeling thanked, feeling reconnected, and smiling back at you. Now, from the adrenal glands atop your kidneys, smiling energy will flow down into the kidneys, penetrating every part of your kidneys and wrapping around your kidneys. Send down a sincere smile of thank you to your kidneys for the work they do in processing the liquid waste from your blood and your body. And as you exhale, imagine breathing out from your kidneys the negative emotions of fear and shock. Making room to breathe in the positive virtues of gentleness and calmness. Breathing out fear and shock. Breathing in gentleness and calmness. Now imagine your kidneys feeling thanked and appreciated, feeling warm and healthy, and smiling back at you. Now we're going to send the smiling energy down from the kidneys to the urinary bladder, feel the smiling energy penetrate every part of the bladder, wrap around the bladder. Smile down a sincere thank you to the bladder for the work it does in holding liquid waste. Imagine your bladder feeling thanked and appreciated, feeling relaxed and healthy, and smiling back at you. And now we'll send the smiling energy down the urethra to the sexual glands, sex organs. Smile down a sincere thank you for the work they do in sexual function. Imagine the sexual glands and organs feeling thanked and appreciated and smiling back at you. That completes our first path. And now we will do the second path, the digestive organs. And reconnecting through your eyes with your source of smiling energy. Bring the energy in through your eyes and down into your mouth. Feel the smiling energy fill your mouth. Fill your tongue, relax your tongue. And we're going to take the tongue and circle it around between the teeth and cheeks 9 times in each direction. That will generate saliva, which we will then swallow in a gulp along with the smiling energy, sending it down the esophagus and to the stomach. So circle your tongue, swallow the saliva and the smiling energy in a gulp. Feel the smiling energy flow down your esophagus and into your stomach. Feel the smiling energy penetrate every part of your stomach and wrap around your stomach. Smile down a sincere smile of thank you to your stomach for the work it does digesting your food. And imagine your stomach feeling reconnected, feeling thanked, feeling appreciated, and smiling back at you, feeling healthy and relaxed. Now the smiling energy flows down from your stomach and into your small intestine. Feel the smiling energy penetrate to every part of the small intestine and wrap around and through the winds and bends of the small intestine, 30-some feet of tubing. Smile down a sincere thank you to your small intestine for the work it does in processing your food. And now imagine your small intestine feeling appreciated and thanked, feeling relaxed and healthy, and smiling back at you. Now the smiling energy flows into your large intestine and up the right side of your abdomen through the ascending colon. Feel it penetrate every part of the ascending colon and wrap around it. And feel the smiling energy now flow to the left, across, and through the transverse colon. The smiling energy penetrating every part of the transverse colon and wrapping around it. And now the smiling energy flowing down on your the left side of your abdomen, down through the descending colon, penetrating every part of the descending colon and wrapping around it. Send down a sincere smile of thanks to your large intestine for the work it does in your digestion, collecting the solid waste and preparing it for expulsion. Now imagine your large intestine feeling reconnected, relaxed, clean and healthy, and smiling back at you. And now we finish the second path by sending the smiling energy down into the rectum and the anus. Feel the smiling energy penetrate every cell of the rectum and anus and wrap around it. Send down a sincere smiling thank you to the rectum and anus for the work they do, regulating the excretion of solid waste. And imagine your rectum and anus feeling reconnected and relaxed, calm, and smiling back at you. And now we'll do the third path. So we bring the smiling energy in through the eyes again from our source and into the valley between the two hemispheres of the brain. Feel the smiling energy penetrating every cell of the pineal, the pituitary, and the thalamus glands, wrapping around them. Send a sincere smile of thank you for these glands and the work they do. And imagine the glands feeling thanked and appreciated, feel them blossoming and smiling back at you. Now the smiling energy flows back into the brain stem and the medulla oblongata, penetrating every cell of those parts, wrapping around them. And now send the smiling energy down the spine, cascading down. From vertebrae through disc to the next vertebrae, healing, strengthening vertebrae and discs, and also flowing out to each side into the ligaments and tendons and muscles connected to the vertebrae, relaxing those muscles and tendons. So from the brain stem, the medulla oblongata, down into the atlas joint, which sits on top of your spine, connecting the spine and cranium. Feel the smiling energy penetrate into every cell of the atlas joint, and then flow down into the disc below the atlas. And flowing down and penetrating every cell of the first cervical vertebrae, and flowing out to each side into the muscles and tendons of the neck attached to the first cervical vertebrae, cascading down into the disc below cervical 1, flowing through every cell of the disc, and down into cervical 2, penetrating every cell of the bone tissue, flowing out to each side into muscles and tendons, warming and relaxing them, oozing down into the disc below cervical 2, penetrating every part of that disc, and down into cervical 3, penetrating every part of cervical 3, wrapping around and flowing out into the ligaments, muscles, and tendons, oozing down to the disc below cervical 3, and penetrating every part of that disc, wrapping around that disc, and flowing down into cervical 4, into every cell of the bone tissue of cervical 4, wrapping around and flowing out to each side, warming and relaxing the muscles. Oozing down into the disc below cervical 4, filling that disc, flowing down into cervical 5, penetrating every part of the disc, wrapping around the disc, flowing out to the muscles and tendons attached to the disc. And oozing down to the disc below 5. Imagine it penetrating every cell. Imagine it regenerating the cells, rehydrating them, renewing them, and flowing down to cervical 6, penetrating the bone tissue and wrapping around, flowing out to each side, warming and relaxing the muscles and tendons, oozing on down to the disc below cervical 6, flowing all through every cell of that disc, healing and regenerating, flowing down into cervical 7, penetrating every cell in the bone tissue, and flowing out to each side along the muscles and tendons located just above your collarbone, warming and relaxing those muscles. And now, smiling energy flows down into thoracic 1, penetrating every cell of the bone tissue, flowing out through the collarbone, relaxing the muscles attached to the disc in the collarbone. And flowing down to the disc below thoracic 1. Healing and renewing that disc. Oozing down to thoracic 2. Penetrating every cell of that vertebrae. And flowing out to each side to relax the ligaments and tendons and the muscles, oozing down to the disc below thoracic 2, filling that disc, healing that disc, flowing down into thoracic 3, penetrating every cell of that vertebrae and flowing out to each side to relax the muscles and tendons. Flowing down now to the disc below thoracic 3, filling that disc, healing that disc, and flowing down into thoracic 4, penetrating every cell, wrapping around, flowing out to each side, oozing down. Smiling energy penetrates the disc below thoracic 4, and then healing that disc, renewing that disc, and into thoracic 5, flowing through and around thoracic 5, and out to each side through the muscles and tendons, warming and relaxing those muscles, oozing down from thoracic 5 to the disc below, filling that disc, healing and renewing that disc, and flowing down into thoracic 6, filling the vertebrae, every cell, wrapping around the vertebrae, flowing out to each side through muscles and tendons, and flowing down into the disc below thoracic 6, flowing into that disc, healing and renewing that disc, and flowing down to thoracic 7, filling that vertebrae, wrapping around that vertebrae, and flowing out to each side, flowing down to the disc below thoracic 7, filling the disc, healing and renewing the disc, and oozing down into thoracic 8, penetrating every cell of the bone tissue of thoracic 8, and flowing out to each side, dissolving knotted muscles, relaxing tendons, flowing down. The smiling energy enters the disc below thoracic 8, penetrating every part of that disc, healing and renewing it, down into thoracic 9, flowing through and around thoracic 9, and spiraling out to each side, dissolving muscle tension, warming and relaxing the muscles, oozing down to the disc below thoracic 9, healing and renewing that disc. And flowing on down to thoracic 10, flowing through and around, renewing the bone tissue, flowing out to each side, relaxing muscles and tendons, flowing down into the disc below thoracic 10, flowing through and around that disc, healing and renewing it, and flowing down into thoracic 11, flowing through and around the bone tissue, and out to each side, relaxing muscles and tendons, flowing down into the disc below 11, flowing through and around the disc, healing and renewing it, and flowing down into thoracic 12, relaxing the muscles and tendons attached, flowing through the bone tissue, and then cascading down into the disc below 12 and flowing through and around, healing and renewing, flowing on down to lumbar 1, penetrating every cell of the bone tissue, flowing around the vertebrae and out to each side, relaxing muscles and tendons, flowing down to the disc below lumbar 1, filling, wrapping around that disc, renewing and healing it, and flowing down to lumbar 3, wrapping around that vertebrae, filling every cell of it, spiraling out to each side, flowing down to the disc below lumbar 3, into every part of the disc, healing and renewing, wrapping around, and flowing down to lumbar 4, flowing through and around the bone tissue, flowing out to each side, relaxing muscles and tendons, flowing down into the disc below lumbar 4, penetrating every cell of that disc, rebuilding, renewing it, rehydrating it, wrapping around it, and flowing down to lumbar 5, flowing through and around that vertebrae and expanding out to each side, relaxing muscles and tendons. Now the smiling energy flows on down to fill the sacrum, penetrating every part of the bone tissue. Imagine flowing around and through the sacrum and expanding circles out to the ilium on each side. renewing bone tissue and bone marrow, and then flowing on down the sacrum to the coccyx, filling every part of the coccyx all the way down to its tip. Renewing and revitalizing the bone tissue. Now, send a sincere smile of thank you into your whole spine, from your cranium down to the tip of your tailbone. Feel the smiling energy flow through and down the spine. Send a sincere smile of thank you to your spine for the work it does, keeping your body erect and flexible. And imagine your spine smiling back at you. Feeling thanked and appreciated, feeling reconnected in every part, feeling warm and relaxed. And now bring your mind into your lower dantian, in the center of your lower abdomen, on a level about 2 inches below your navel. Hold your mind there steadily and just feel the smiling energy flowing into the lower dantian, where it can be stored and preserved. Imagine your lower dantian feeling full and warm and smiling back at you. And put a smile on your face and keep that smile for the outside world, and smiling at the world, letting the world smile back at you. Feeling healthy, relaxed, and reconnected. Okay, there we are.